Think about the last truly moving story you were told. It doesn't matter the medium it was told through. It could be a book, a podcast, a YouTube video, a documentary, or a film. But just think back to it and think about why you liked it. For me personally, when I'm being told a story, there are a few things I look for. There needs to be a grounded sense of setting and location, a good hero's journey, a feasible sense of what the protagonist is up against, and above all else, characters. Good, relatable, real characters. Why characters above all else? Because they add a sense of relatability to the story, and it allows the viewer to place themselves in the shoes of the protagonist. Why? Because we all have characters. Every single human has a way in which they like to express themselves, whether we realize it or not. This means that whenever there is a well-written character, it adds a layer to our immersion, letting us frame this fictional story in reality, giving us a reference point. So what happens when characters aren't well written? To be clear, there can be stories that rely on other elements to bring the viewer in, such as a jaw-dropping plot or groundbreaking thematic messages. But for me, the best stories have a combination of well-written characters, good underlying messages, and a great plot. It's the masterful interplay of characters, plot, and themes that makes us consider something well-written. I would argue that these are fundamentally linked. Good characters define the plot, and good characters define the themes and ideas of the story, not the other way around. This isn't to say that underlying messages can't be conveyed through characters, but simply that these themes are results of human behaviour, and should function as such. Although ultimately, when a character isn't well written, we as an audience feel frustrated, confused, or disorientated. We can often tell that there is something off with the world of the story, or get angry with the character because their values aren't aligned with ours. Think of all the tantalizing horror film cliches. This brings me on to my next point. What characters teach us about ourselves. You may not think about it this way very often, but when you're reading a book, watching a film, or a YouTube video, you're watching a character deal with situations as they arise. We find it deeply interesting to see someone else in trouble, and then watch them figure a way out of that situation. Both because we like to imagine how we would deal with the situation ourselves, and because we learn a lot from other people's ways of thinking and attitude. We like humorous characters who never seem to be in despair, even in the more dire of situations, and many of us aspire to gain this quality. Anxious characters teach us that sometimes there are times in life where a more cautious approach is appropriate, and sad characters can show us that being sad some of the time is a very normal and formative aspect of life. Have you ever stopped to wonder why certain stories survive so much longer than others? Perhaps it's because they convey something about the human experience that is relatable to us even today. Their characters are so human, for a lack of a better word. They transcend time and place. They turn the camera around and show us important aspects of not only our world, but also ourselves.